Grow, Cook, Eat. Proudly sponsored by Board Bia.
So the good news is that tonight you get 2 veg for the price of 1 because we are doing celery and celeriac. And you are going to resist the urge to give a dad fact about either of those vegetables.
I have really, really good dad facts about
Yeah, but
this.
you say that every time, Michael Kelly. So Mick, I know that celeriac and celery are obviously 2 completely different vegetables, right? But how different?
If you know what celery looks like,
Yeah,
a stalk of celery or whatever, celeriac on the other hand looks more like a turnip. So it's like stays in the ground for ages. You don't have to use it when it's ready. You can leave it in the ground. Celery you kind of have to use straight away.
Okay, but they start exactly the same.
Start exactly the same.
Cool.
Basically, celery and celeriac are really, really slow-growing veg. So these take about 3 weeks to germinate. And even after that, then it'll be about another 2 weeks before we get them out of here and into a module tray. So what they'll need at that stage is a boost to something a little bit more nutritious. So we'll use potting compost at that stage, but at the start, they don't need any nutrition at all.
So is that
seed
why we're
compost.
not putting them straight into a module tray?
Yeah, exactly.
Usual
malarkey.
overfill.
There you go, you beat me to it. So then we're going to get our seeds out, right? So one thing you will notice from these seeds, Karen,
Okay, Michael.
is that the seed is absolutely tiny.
Come on.
Yeah?
They're only a flicker of a seed.
They are absolutely tiny. First of all, they need light to germinate. So when we sprinkle them on top here, we're not going to cover them. Your ones aren't quite as tiny as mine. So this is celery, this is celeriac. Celeriac's a little bit bigger. So we're just going to get little sprinkles, sprinkle them on top. Try and get them as far apart as you can. So we're just going to put our labels on. We're going to give them a bit of a water. So just keep the soil nice and moist. Don't ever let them dry out for the next 3 weeks or so while we're waiting for them to germinate.
Why are we not planting these straight out into the bed?
So they're just a little bit delicate still, right? And it's a little bit cold outside. So we need to get them sort of up to about that height before we plant them out. But if we leave them in here any longer, the roots are going to start tangling up underneath, and that means when you take them out, they'll get damaged.
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So what we do is we prick them out of here. We put one into each of these, into each module of a module tray. It's not the usual sort of overfilling. We just get enough compost. And what we'll do is we'll make a little hole in the compost about that deep or so. We're not sowing the seed, so we need to give plenty of space for the little roots to go in and all that. Be really, really careful. You don't want to damage it. You never hold the seedling by the stem.
Okay.
Always by the leaf, right? Because it can recover if you pull the leaf off by mistake, but it won't recover if you break the stem.
Okay.
And then you get your little plant label, stick it in very carefully underneath the soil and kind of ease it out gently. So you get a little thing like that, yeah? And then you just pop it into the little hole, and then you just get a little bit of compost, and really carefully, you don't want to try and avoid touching the roots if you can.
Okay.
Just kind of firm in around it until it's nice and sort of stable in the soil, yeah? So we've eight more to do. Do we have a race?
No. Huh? No. I'm taking my time.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, no. I want to do this properly.
You've changed, Karen. Done. I think I just...
No, you didn't just pip me.
I think I just did. And actually, you said done and you weren't even done.
Ha! Done.
Come on, bring it with you.
After another month in the glasshouse, it's time to plant out these celery and celeriac. Now Mick is busy getting the raised beds ready by giving them a quick hoe and a feed with the usual suspects: seaweed dust and those stinky poultry manure pellets. Okay, first things first. What's the spacing between the rows?
So the spacing between the row is 30 centimetres.
Okay, go on.
So we're going to do our first row there, and then we can kind of measure them out as we go across like that. So celeriac is about 30 centimetres apart in the row. So we're only going to get kind of 3 celeriac in our row here.
Okay.
Whereas with celery, it's about 20 centimetres, so you'll probably get 4 in that row. The only thing about celery and celeriac, I suppose, that's a little bit different is that they're naturally a marsh plant. So they like it really, really sodden and wet, like they'll do.
Oh, okay.
We will actually water them quite regularly, even outside, which is quite
unusual. Okay, just give them a good soak.
kind of instant veg bed as well,
Yeah, isn't it?
That's what I like about it.
Okay, here we go.
It's a bit of an out splash there.
They say it's really tough to grow celery and celeriac in a container, but that won't stop me. I'm willing to give it a go with celery. Mick, though, has some reservations.
I'm slightly intrigued on a kind of horticultural nerdy level.
Okay, so why? What are your
Well,
reservations?
Anything, like we're talking about it's being a
Marshy plant.
marshy plant, and any plant growing in a container, you struggle to keep it watered because like there's a finite amount of space for the roots to go.
Having said that, we're not going to let these go to waste.
No.
So we just give them a bit of a grow and
Yeah,
see what happens?
yeah, I think so.
Okay, definitely the 4th.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. You may as well, sure.
Sure, you may as well.
So,
Sure, isn't that it?
yeah, sure, let's see where it takes us.
Okay, I'm guessing another bit of watering though.
Lots of water. Karen, you know the way you're inclined to be very enthusiastic about things at the start, and then your enthusiasm tends to wane a little. So we're going to have to keep this watered, like. So,
I will. I'm all over it.
yeah, well, look, let's see where it takes us. That's all I'm going to say.
After trying to grow strawberries earlier in the season and admittedly not being very successful at it, I'm going to chat to commercial strawberry grower Pat Clark to find out how he does it and to pick up some tips so I can grow them again next year. Walk me through it. What's a day in the life of Clark's family farm?
Yeah, well, we start here picking our fruit at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Woo! Okay, early bells.
Fresh fruit, with the dew on them. You can't get any fresher than that. They're just fabulous. Our fruit is picked, packed and dispatched on the day. With us, it's about freshness.
Okay.
And that's the way it should be with strawberries or any fruit. It's about freshness. All our fruit is all stem picked. So they pick the fruit by the stem. So there's no bruising on the fruit.
Okay.
Again, it helps the shelf life.
And is that your own very high standards, or are you finding your customers and your clients are expecting?
We would have very high standards, as you can see from the farm here.
Yeah, it's immaculate.
That's the way it should be, because if you buy our product, you want to be happy with it, and we want you to be happy with it. What we grow here is a very healthy product, because it's local.
Yeah.
There's low carbon footprint with it, no air miles.
Yeah.
Good product.
Yeah.
You know, it ticks all the boxes.
So come here, tell me now, because I'm a novice grower-ish, kind of trying my best.
Yes.
This was year 1 where I grew some strawberries.
Yes.
Couldn't say it was a resounding success. Do I give up now, or?
Absolutely not.
No?
Oh God, no, you keep trying. You'll keep improving all the time.
How do you grow strawberries on such a scale as this?
Yes, it's not easy to grow strawberries out here. You know, they're very, they're called a soft fruit.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
you know, you're against all the elements. They don't like rain or they don't like wind because they need to be protected. So
Wind is what got mine.
it is, of course, because it'll damage them all.
Yeah.
As well as that, you cannot plant it wrong. If you plant them too deep, they will smother. Today everything is grown up on tabletops at high level. That way, see, there's no water ever get near the fruit or the leaves.
Because that would rot.
It would, because
Okay.
heat and water will create disease.
Okay.
So that may be some of the things that's happening with you.
Yeah, quite possible.
But you grow a better quality fruit. But that's
Better
just-
quality fruit.
You do.
And I'll be giving you a run for your money next year.
That's a big threat. Yeah.
I don't think you've anything to worry about.
Grow, Cook, Eat. Proudly sponsored by Board Bia. Grow, Cook, Eat. Proudly sponsored by Board Bia.
So Karen, our Celeriac is looking well.
It is looking good. I mean, I say that I have actually no idea.
Well, like it's a 6-month project, Celeriac. So you
Yeah.
sow it in April,
Back in April, so we're
and
going
it's not ready till around October.
Okay.
And then it'll store for the winter in the ground. So it's starting to do, it's a long way off yet, but it's starting to do what it's supposed to do, which is that the stem down here, it's a swollen stem rather than a root crop. And it's starting to do that.
Okay.
And you can see some of these are a little bit tired looking, so we're going to kind of trim any of those ones off. It's always a bit of a problem keeping them watered in raised beds. It's a good juncture. We're what now, three months into growing these?
Good juncture. Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Okay.
Give them a bit of a feed and water it in really well.
So, now that I've finished the celeriac, do we do exactly the same thing with the celery?
Nope, we don't need to trim those leaves back at all because the celery's nearly ready, and it doesn't need a feed either at this stage.
Not even the old yellowing leaves?
No, I don't think so. Just a bit of an hour watering
Just a bit of an old watering.
and
Okay.
happy days.
So you think this celery is nearly ready to harvest?
I think it's a couple of weeks away.
Think on, dude. I'll show you nearly. Now, this is what celery looks like when it's ready.
I am flabbergasted. They are brilliant, like.
Yeah.
Like one little container, right? And you've got 3 fantastic heads.
Healthy, thriving plants.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea how to harvest them.
We've got 2 options. First one is that we can cut the whole head of celery down. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut across the base of it right down at the ground level, because if you cut a centimetre or so above the soil, all of the stalks will just fall apart. So you want it to all come in one piece. So the other option is we can just take like individual stalks. So you can just literally slice a couple of the stalks down there and just harvest,
Okay.
individual ones and leave the rest to grow on.
Okay. Okay, so that's enough.
That's deadly.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
deadly.
Don't forget this, all parts of this are usable in soups, stocks, whatever.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever.
I'm glad you're not the
Whatever.
chef.
And then these beautiful little ones are just deadly because they're so tender. You could just chop them up and eat them raw in salads or stir fries or whatever.
Okay. So, let me guess. It is celery's time to shine.
It surely is. You can see it's kind of ready to rock. The celeriac needs probably about another month or so, I'd say.
Okay.
Because you can see down at the kind of base at ground level that the bulb is not it's not big enough yet,
Okay.
basically, but the celery is ready to go. Generally, you're harvesting it over about a kind of a month or 6 weeks at the most, because if you leave it too long in the ground after that, it tends to get really badly damaged by slugs. Slugs actually love eating the stalks of celery, and they'll kind of make lots of little holes in it. It'll be very unpleasant.
Enough chatting, Mick. It's time to harvest those celery plants.
Right, last one, Karen.
Okay. I think we have enough.
I think we have enough. And I think these have space to grow on for another couple of weeks now, hopefully.
This is not my first visit to the Zero Waste Garden in Rathcoffey. I absolutely love it because it was started by 3 gardeners who took a very ordinary piece of ground and have turned it into something extraordinary.
Well, I started the Zero Waste Garden in April 2018. Since I retired, I was kind of living a bit of a nameless life. I used to keep looking at this piece of ground and say, because it was council property, I thought maybe they wouldn't let us near it. But when I approached them, they went for it. The concept here is everything here is built from scrap. Our cabin here is scrap. It came from a soccer club, and now we can use it as a meeting room. We can use it for training if people want to learn how to cook or learn anything about, do courses maybe on gardening or whatever.
It's not just volunteers that Pat relies on to keep the garden going, but also the generosity of local business owners like Larry who really want to help out. So I believe you've donated all the heathers to the garden.
Well, I did. Sure, I'm just from up the road, and sure, I know Pat, I meet him in the pub regularly. Well, not regularly, but
Now and again.
he twisted my arm, and it's very, very nice to be able to donate a few headers to them and try and look after them and see that they grow right and are treated correctly. So
That's really kind. And on top of that, others are also willing to donate their time and expertise to help solve some of the technical issues that arise in the zero waste garden. You guys are the two people behind Solar Pump Solutions. Tell us a little bit about what its link is to this garden.
We manufacture solar-powered water pumps that can pump water from any remote location without needing access to electricity. At the moment, it's supplying 2 taps, so it's pumping around 200 metres. And from there, then, they can attach their garden hoses and take it all around the garden. So it means there's no hauling of water with buckets as they were doing before.
The Zero Waste Garden is all about community, and here's what it means to some of the members.
You wouldn't believe the difference in the community. Like, honestly, from living here, there's people that I talk to down here that I wouldn't have spoken to in the 15 years that I lived here. And even like there's people who suffer with different things like mental health issues who come down here, and it's a great kind of social environment, as well as actually doing something productive.
Well, it has enhanced the community because it's bringing people back to what real food and vegetable growing is about. I think, looking to the future, we need to use the concept of sustainability among ourselves in our family and in the bigger community.
It just takes one person. Any bit of waste ground you have around your estate, make it work. Get out there, start digging, put in a few potatoes, put in carrots, a few bits of cabbage, whatever you want to put into it. Try it and see how it goes.
I just love being at a community garden, and these guys are brilliant. And they are brilliant not because of the specifics of this garden, but because they are doing something, which is why every community garden is absolutely brilliant, because it's people coming together to just do something. Okay, it is time to harvest what can only be described as the pug of the vegetable world.
It is, I think, the
ugly
undisputed world's ugliest veg. That big, thick skin is what makes it kind of really durable. It sits in the ground over the winter, and I absolutely love that about it. You kind of need to keep an eye on them in case they get kind of, slug damage or whatever.
So I see you've brought a knife to this harvest.
I have. I have.
To be
I
fair,
bring it everywhere.
I brought my fork.
There's 2 ways you can do it. You can either cut across, sort of down at ground level.
Okay.
Or the other way is you
dig
can
and lift.
dig and lift.
Okay. Now, look at that.
I'm feeling a bit under pressure now, so I'm going to
No
go
bother to you.
right across the top, or the bottom rather. There we go.
Oh, wow. Okay, clean as a whistle.
And all those lovely roots kind of staying in the soil to...
And my
do
roots
their
are coming
magic.
with me.
Yeah, all right.
Now it's time for Katie to do her thing, as she's making a lentil and celery stew with rosemary focaccia and a celeriac remoulade. Delicious.
To get things started, I'm going to chop my onion. Nice generous amount of oil. The onions are going to go straight in. And there's a really lovely smell going on. So I'm going to chuck in my garlic. I'm going to put the celery to one side and chop my carrot. I'm I'm going to throw in my celery. I'm going to add a little bit of chili flake and some thyme. And I'm going to leave it for about 4 or 5 minutes before adding my carrots until everything's just a little bit softer. So it's ready for the carrots to go in. So lentils. And my hot stock. That's going to sit happily on the stove for about 20 minutes, but I'm going to make a celeriac remoulade in the meantime. So I've got some garlic confit here. I'm going to mash them up with my fork. And I'm going to go in with my mustard. Normally when you're making mayonnaise, you use eggs or egg yolks to make it lovely and rich. Today I'm actually going to use soy milk as my protein. A squeeze of lemon juice. With the oil, we want to do a steady stream going down the side of the bowl so it goes in slowly, slowly, slowly. And that way the whole mixture will emulsify. So I'm going to work on the celeriac. So I'm going to cut it in half and just get rid of all the outer skin. Grab my mandolin. So that's all just going to go in here. Salt and pepper. I'm just going to finish it off with some herbs. So I'm going to grab some flat leaf parsley. My soup is nearly finished and the guys are about to come in.
That is so good. Oh, it's just delicious.
Oh my God, okay.
Yeah, so I have like big pots that on the stove and just like, you know, 3 days, 4 days, it kind of keeps it.
Yeah, even better second day, I guess, probably.
And then we have a little bit of celeriac as well. So that's the celeriac that you grew and just done into a little remoulade, and we made a plant-based mayonnaise.
I love that you can eat celeriac raw, like, you know. It is obviously really good cooked as well, but it's even better like this, I think.
Yeah, like, you know, you use all your cabbages and stuff for your coleslaws in the summer, but then in the winter, you know, and like that would be lovely with a bit of apple in it or something with some freshness as well.
Why not log on to growcookeat.ie for all the info you need to get growing in your garden.
Do you know what's mad, right? Is 3 years ago when we first started Grow Cook Eat, I think it's fair to say I hadn't a rashers how to grow vegetables, and do not say that I still don't, because I have absolutely learned a thing or two.
You have learned a thing or two.
I totally have. So I'm totally going to keep growing the ones I like.
You are?
Yeah, of course I am. What about you? Epic fail.
Yeah, I think what was amazing to me is even though it's 7 things that I've grown loads of times before, it was totally different, and that's the way it always is with growing. Like, you know, things go right, you don't know why, things go wrong, you don't know why. I'm doing my best, you know. And it's just that beautiful unpredictability, I think. And above all, you're eating food that's good for the planet, it's good for you.
Yep.
The size of these. But Karen, you know what? It's the connection with real food that matters.
True. True.
Yeah.
You know what I've also learned? You're shocking at telling jokes.
Grow, Cook, Eat. Proudly sponsored by Board Bia.